Philo Dave.
Yes, I am Philo Dave.
Do you know why you are here?
Is this Iowa?
Not exactly. Let us call it a modern-day version of Plato's cave. Minus the fire. But with the shadows. Now, to the point. The Harold Lounge is celebrating its 2nd year anniversary and I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. May we continue?
Oh, that's funny. The realist hangs out where things are not what they seem. I'm amused. Well done. And you have questions? Sure, as long as you remember that the cave dwellers were ignorant of the truth. Sounds about right in my case. Actually. Carry on.
But it is from the surface that you come. Let us continue. Over the past 2 years, what have you enjoyed the most about the Harold Lounge?
The learning, I guess. I've learned a lot from doing it, which is cool.
Cool, man. Do you think the lounge influenced other faculty and administrators across the district to follow you in your footsteps? I mean, there was nothing before your blog came to life. Was there? And now, look at all the blog masters coming out of their caves. Would you take credit for this?
Influence. Maybe. I guess you'd have to ask them. I mean, I didn't invent the blog. There were something like 15 million blogs on WordPress alone in 2009, and somewhere around 150 million in existence before the lounge was even a twinkle. I'm flattered by the suggestion, realist, but without more evidence. I think the correct term for such a thought would be post hoc ergo propter hoc. Oh rats. That probably sounded a bit pedantic, eh? How about those cubs?
Great answer. You made me do some homework. Again. Yes, there were other blogs, but I tend to think yours had some bit of influence in our community. Okay, on to the next question, or series of questions. Is the lounge serving the purpose you intended it to serve when you started it 2 years ago, or is it becoming something different? Either way, do you like what you see and read on your blog? Are you suggesting we need weekly sports reports from our local teams?
Yes and no. Yes, no. Respectively.
Wow, talk about getting right to the point. So much for spring training updates from Arizona. Okay, last set of questions and then it is back to the surface. Feel free to elaborate with your answers. Or not. Based on the past 2 years of activity on the lounge, would you say it has been a successful endeavor? Is there anything you would like to see change? For example, are you still looking for more authors? Or are there any weekly topics you would like to include or eliminate or change?
Is that ninja get-up silk?
It's body paint. It's my best shadow imitation. It's the only way to walk around freely in Plato's cave without being noticed. Now, let's get back to these questions about the lounge, shall we? Then you can ask me anything.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't try to touch it first. Then, that would have been surprising. Wait, why do you want to be unnoticed in your own hangout? That's weird. I mean, if my neighbors spent all day sitting in their backyard with camo face paint and ghillie suits, I'd wonder about them. See the parallel? I mean, what the hell?
I hope that last word doesn't get us censored by district.
I mean, silk. I can understand. It feels good, breathes nicely, kinda stretchy, surprisingly warm. You should go with silk. Even a poly blend would be better than body paint. What's wrong with You?
As always, you have found my weaknesses, and thus my ignorance. Perhaps I'll go with Silk in the future. Do you see why I have not left the cave? Please send my best to those enlightened peeps on the surface. It appears you do not want to talk about the lounge. If that's how you want to roll, I'll respect your unspoken wishes. Let me just thank you for the lounge and for this interview, and to tell you to keep doing what you are doing. Philo Dave, you rock. In closing, and to be fair, do you have any other question for me?
No, it's not that, really. It's just that I can't really say whether it's been a success or not, except that it was something I wanted to try out, and that something I continue to do and play with and enjoy. I mean, I guess I'd have stopped a long time ago if I thought it weren't working in some way or other. Narrowly and selfishly speaking, I'd have to say it's a success because I have and continue to learn a lot from doing it. As for everyone else, I guess I'd say you'd have to ask them. It is what it is, right? It'll become what it does, I guess. I must say, very grateful for your creative efforts and your enthusiasm, and the other contributors' efforts and enthusiasm, authors and commenters alike. I'd have definitely stopped a long time ago if I thought I was talking to myself or a small posse in an echo chamber. I like it best when there are multiple voices. How about that for a non-answer?
Great.
And you're welcome. And, again, thank you, and thanks for this. As for a last question, I'd ask who you are, but I already know that one. So how about what kind of cake are we having?
A great non-answer. Thank you, Logmaster, for your time here today and for the Herald Lounge. It continues to be a pleasure posting and commenting on your blog. Here's to more of the same in the future. Now, about that cake. The only kind I can think of is mud cake with a few pebbles for crutchiness. Look around. Slim pickings. Perhaps we can go upstairs to the student lounge and see what they have. Although, I don't know how this body paint would go over, and you've got that get-up on. What's with the hat? And all the leather? Looking for a lost treasure. You wearing silk under that? Never mind. Happy second Lounge-iversary, Philo Dave.
What? You don't like the look? It's cave wear. And it says, A. I hate snakes, and B. And I quote, we do not follow maps to bury treasure, and X never, ever marks the spot. Seemed appropriate. Anyway, thanks, realist. Always a pleasure. Now then, let's go see if we can scrounge up some trouble cake.